In this episode, we'll continue our discussion with Parool and Nathalie about executing with excellence.
Very good point.
And I found that change management in general, it's about communication. Communication. And when we say communication, it's not just about saying, oh, here it is, here's the project, yeah! It's about why. Why are we changing? What is the vision? Where we want to go? What is going to be the impact to you and you? It's also about
not only the and people tend to forget what's the bad stuff coming up too.
Yeah,
it's all the good, and people are like, oh, well, you need to give me a balanced view on this. I'm okay if there's bad stuff in this, but don't sell me a bill of goods that's all good. Give me a balanced view. I'm a grown adult. I can handle it. And if you're not going to tell me, I'm talking about this in the corner with my girlfriends of all the stuff that's going to go wrong with it. But if you acknowledge it, it actually takes the energy out of that away.
And that was the idea of pushing, because I was pushing a change, you were pushing back. Yeah. As soon as I wanted to dance, if we had a little bit more space, I would have danced with you.
I love dancing.
Then it would have been, no, but it's different, because what I do is take your energy and try to incorporate it. And as you're saying, it can be the bad stuff and all that, because change management in project management is a very important component, because you can have the best project, the best, let's say, in IT system ever, but if people don't buy it, it won't be successful. And change management, it's about, this is what's going on right now, then we're introducing a change. Productivity and everything will just go down. That's just normal, that's just human. And we have to understand that. So change management is about, how can I make everyone go back higher than it was as fast as possible? So it can be training, it can be communication, but it's listening to them. It can be focus group. And you're saying you have that great idea, but you don't know you're there and you're having a new idea. And you don't know the details down there. So you have to listen to people that will come forward and will speak up and say, this won't work. Why?
There might be truth,
truth
in what they have to say.
What you have to propose, so get them engaged. And that
and
will
again, adding to the greater pool of understanding by getting those facts out on the table.
Exactly.
Good, or concerns out on the table. What do you think about in terms of organizational alignment? Like often that's a key issue with execution. Are there areas key things that you think you need to look for, or to signal that you don't have organizational alignment, or areas that you think you should proactively put into a plan to gain organizational alignment?
Wow, that's a good question.
It is. First thing that comes to mind is walk the talk, talk the walk.
Yeah. I think, Parool brought up, the executive team is all excited about it, but sometimes the executive team isn't all excited about it. Sometimes it's one executive, it's one executive or the president, and there are actually disbelievers still at the senior level, and I know that can be certainly, an impediment to a successful execution.
That's where I think leadership will make or break a project or a change management. It says walking the talk. It's about, I think it has to do with, I'm going to go on a divergent right now.
No, go ahead. This is good.
I've been watching a lot of Cesar Millan, Dog Whisperer. He talks a lot about calm, assertive leadership, and how when you are talking about creating change, you actually need to be that leader. And you are going to get resistance. I mean, he's talking about dogs, and he's talking about humans as well. But you are going to get resistance, and you are going to get people who will be on board but kind of fall back. I think that's just a natural rhythm to any change. When we think of our own lives, there might be a job change. We might be really excited about that job change because it's going to give us a new opportunity, new skills. I get to work with somebody I really want to work with. But then when you get there, it's like, oh, not everything I thought it would be. And so you need to keep a vision, and B, from the leader's perspective, because it may not be everything they thought it would be, this belief, but this calm, assertive leadership style that allows for dissent, allows for conversation, that allows for dialogue, while all the time believing in where you're going. Because if you don't believe it, why should I? And I think it's about perspective about dissent as well. often people think dissent or conflict is a bad thing, when actuality, conflict can bring out some incredible, conflict of ideas can bring out incredible ways of doing things.
You get to the next level often.
Often, yeah. 5 minds create something incredible versus 1 mind.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, it's ironic that the topic is about perspectives, but so much of how something may not be working or is working really is on the perspective of the situation at hand.
Good, that's great.
I will add to that patience and time.
Oh, always.
Because
Always.
no, but because one of the thing is often we have a great idea. The idea is great. The team is excited and it's perfect, but we want to implement now, and we forget about selling, because project management, it's about selling. The first component, it's about selling. You have to sell your project. You have to make sure that all the other executives buy into it, and sometimes that take times, because the first time you'll go, they'll say no. The second time you'll go, they'll say no again, but then they'll give you perhaps a little bit of why, or if they won't, then you just go 1 or 2 level down and say, why you say no, or she saying no, what you want? Then, you can tweak your project. That will just make it better. And then you will finally get the buy-in. But often we're on the timeline is like, chop, 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 let's go, let's get this moving by the end of fiscal year, blah, blah, blah. And we forget that, you know what?
Bulldoze through the process rather than
Perhaps we should just wait an extra year or an extra 6 months, have everyone on board, and there's probably, instead of taking a year of execution, that will be a bad one anyway, will take only 9 months. So long term. And sometimes we forget about that.
So slow down to speed up.
Slow down, yep.
Yeah, I always say that. Slow is fast sometimes.
Yep.
And sometimes it's more than just about selling. It's actually, the next step is actually enrolling people into your idea.
Yep.
Like, I can sell. But unless you enroll me into it somehow, you might as well go to someone else.
Yeah.
You might as well go to someone else.
And Stephen Covey is one of my favorite business experts. Said in the 7 Habits of Effective People, you can't be efficient with people. You can be effective with people, but you cannot be efficient with people. So I think that kind of sums it up. We're gonna go for a break, but I think certainly what I've heard today is all about change management, all about taking the time to do it right, and engaging people in the process.